Yes, sir. Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Tamayim Live. I'm out here in Vacaville, California again. Well, today is Monday. Yeah, Monday. I don't know why I said the day, but today is November 15th, 2021. Evening the year hastening by Elder Apostle Taha. And first and foremost, I would love to turn to the east and give my power, infinite praise, honor, and glory. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. My intro be different every time, man, but it is what it is when it's out through the spirit. What I also love to do is give double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well and teach well in sound doctrine. And with that being said, man, I pray this lesson is edifying. We are truly indeed in some exciting times, man. We're in the times of the truth being made manifest to the whole entire world, man. We're in the time of the truth being declared into the whole entire world, man, and that lie being done away with. We're in the time of that truth, cause what that word is truth. Being brought back to the forefront of the earth, man. We're in the time of this world, or the transition right before this world gets established in righteousness, man. Which again is that truth prevailing. So with that being said, I pray this lesson is edifying. And without further ado, I'm gonna get into these precepts. What I'm gonna get first is I'm gonna show you the lie first, man. No, actually, first I'm gonna get this, because when you read it, it's beautiful how it comes full circle, and we was never giving up on, man. Never giving up on. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 57. But thanks be to the Most High, Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, sending Yahweh Shah further solidified and put the nail in the coffin that Israel would never be done away with. Starting with that remnant, starting with that 144,000, and that great multitude, that 1/3 of men, women, and children who was conformed to the image of his son. Despite how the world was going. Despite that broad way that led to destruction and that wide gate that led to destruction, we took that route that was supposed to be taken, man. We took that route contrary to the world. In order to what did it say? Let's get that in order to inherit all things, man. And in order to earn or even obtain, we stayed alive to obtain our inheritance. Because living conducively to life, living life, having life, the breath of life is living according to these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, through grace. You know, rehearsing the righteous acts. You know, putting on as the elect. You know, earning your inheritance, staying alive to earn your inheritance. Let's get this. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 3. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place that it might be deep and great, right? Your inheritance, right? But put the case the entrance were narrow and like a river, right? The entrance to your inheritance, that eye of the needle, that way to everlasting life, that way to your heart's desire is narrow, man. It's full of pitfalls. It's full of stumbling blocks. It's full of purging your iniquities. It's full of sanctifying and cleansing your ways by the washing of the word, right? 2nd Esdras 7, verse 4. But put the case the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Right. You had to live contrary to this world, because what? I'm going to get that. And this is taking me somewhere I didn't even think I was going to get taken, but whatever. The water Yahweh Bashim Yoshah. This is the book of Matthew chapter 7 verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, that narrow gate, that river that led to that broad and deep, that your inheritance. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide, right? Wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. That's why they say, follow not a multitude to do evil, because majority of these people are going to live contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua set before them, in order to live, in order to reap everlasting life, in order to avoid the second death, in order to take part and obtain that mercy. You know what I'm saying? To avoid that second death, to avoid the death of the uncircumcised. Continuing on. And broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Exactly, man. Many there be that go to that broad gate, that take that wide turn, that take the easy route, that take the route where I got room for everybody to come in, man. Where it's not just one person can go in at a time and bear their own burden and work out their own salvation. Many is gonna go that way. That's why I said it's gonna be like a wave to a drop when you compare the people that get saved to the people that don't get saved. Verse 14, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. That's why I said that this word here is for many, created for many, but the word to come is created for few. Because he's gonna set somebody over it that's profitable in due time over the word that is created for few. And he's only going to put the profitable. He's going to put the fervent. He's only going to put the people abounding and giving themselves wholly to the doctrine and their Father's business under the one that is profitable in that word to come. I pray I brought that home. So I'm going to go back to 2nd Esdras. Again, I don't know how I got here. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 5. Who then can go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it, This is how we get our inheritance, to be above all people. You hear me? By going through this straight, narrow gate. If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and it's full of all good things, right? You got everything in that motherfucker. Hey, it's like that up there. I want to get there, right? I believe I can get there if I continue. I believe, so I speak. Continuing on, and I speak faithfully. This is taking me. Oh, I guess we're going here. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I speak it faithfully. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 28. The prophet that have a dream, let him tell a dream, right? And he that have my word, the word, let him speak my word faithfully without wavering, always. Right? What did it say? Let's get that. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Preach the word. It didn't say take a fucking break. It said preach the word. Plain as day. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season, right? So when it's necessarily convenient for you, and when it's not the most convenient for you, when you feel like fucking doing it, and when you may not feel like fucking doing it, when you should kind of pretty much for the most part always feel like doing it, to be honest, man. Not saying we're not in our flesh, but you should damn near always feel like doing this, man. If Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gave you a lifestyle conducive to giving you time to do this, to prepare yourself, to build yourself up and teach. You should feel like doing this. But preach the word. Be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So we're supposed to be always doing this, man. Preaching this word faithfully. Faithfully, man. You can't be doing this when you don't want to do it, man. Because what did it say? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 4. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. He won't plow by reason by the cold. Or not even the cold, because what did it say? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 32, verse 17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but findeth an excuse according to his will. So whatever excuse, man, whatever reason you find suitable, or you just find, whatever reason you find, I always clear it out, man. It just got quiet as hell. But whatever reason you find that suits you in order not to do your father's business, it's gonna have you out here wanting when it's time to reap, man. Because it said, this is the book of Proverbs chapter 20, verse 4. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing, man. Because Yahweh Bashem Yahushua hates a sluggard, man. He hates a sluggard. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 10, verse 26. As vinegar to the teeth and as smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to them that send him. And that's to anyone. So how much more Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the author of all flesh, man. I don't know why I said author of all flesh, but the living power, the ruler of all flesh. Why? How much more him? So back to second Esdras, about getting your inheritance. The interest thereof is never. Oh no, wait. This is the book of second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a. I probably should put the I'm gonna put the sign like somewhere else so they can see it. All right, cool. Salakia. So yeah, it said there is another city. I'm gonna actually move this way too. So I'm not like away from my sign, All right, cool. We lit. I don't know if y'all can really see the scenery. It's a little something. I actually never been here before. I meant to go to a different Walmart, and it's the Walmart that the Lord took me. I casted a lot. He said, stay. So I'm doing what I was, I'm doing what I was told. So this is the book of, so back to second Esdras. This is the book of second Esdras, chapter 7. I'm sorry if I'm a bird brain type nigga today, bro. Just everywhere, but we getting it done. This is the book of second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 6. There is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and it's full of all good things. This is the place you want to be, right? This is your inheritance set before you, right? The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall. So in order to get there, in order to get to the city, to walk through them gates, right? Like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. So it's hectic getting there. You gotta really pay attention. You gotta really come out. You gotta come down there a different person then before you even set on that journey to get to your inheritance, right? You gotta stay alive because this is really an equivalence of the valley of the shadow of death. Right now, if you wanna think about it, I always make this comparison. It's like we bowling, right? It's like we bowling, but we're bowling with no gutters. And the only way we stay on course to get to the pins, to get to our inheritance, is if we walk in the spirit. But if we go too far left or too far right, we out of here. That's that valley of the shadow of death. That's that, what did he say? That's the equivalence of a city in a dangerous place to fall, like as if it were on the fire on the right hand and the left a deep water. That's the same equivalence. You go too far left, you go too far right, you in the gutter, you out of here, you back in the world, you're dead. The only way you stay alive and make it to your inheritance is staying on that straight and narrow path, walking in the spirit. And that's how we get our inheritance, being contrary to this world. Because the world is to our left and to our right. It's sin to our left and to our right. We're being accused. We're in a setup. We're living in a system set up to accuse us day and night, man, by our oppressor that wants our birthright, by the lie that wants our birthright. And majority of our people, because broad is the way that leads to destruction. Majority of our people is falling by the wayside, left and right. But what did it say? It said, when that tribulation comes, it says what? It says, Psalm chapter 91, verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And that's assuming that you stay on this path. You stay on this straight and narrow path. You continue through the furnace of affliction. You continue in the spirit. You stay alive to receive the fruits of your labor, man. I hope I brought that home. And that's why we're gonna be so heavily rewarded. Lord willing, I'm gonna that number. That's why the elect is gonna be so heavily rewarded in the kingdom, because it's gonna be a world with bumpers, basically. We're gonna set the world in righteousness, so it's gonna be harder, much harder to go off, especially if you're an Israelite. You're gonna have a heart made to know Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, a heart programmed never to go off again. So we're naturally gonna be setting up a world where the world is closed on the Shabbat. You know, there's no pagan holidays. It's little to few adultery. It's no murder. It's only righteous killings. If there is murders, it will be recompensed according to the law of the Most High, and not according to the law of fucking Esau Edom. So the next world we're gonna be coming into is gonna be like playing bowling, but with the bumpers. So because we stayed on course and got to the pins, and we got to the pins in a world where it wasn't no bumpers, and it was to your left and to your right, you could have fell off. We're gonna be rewarded when we set this world up to where it's hard to go off, where you can't go to your left and to your right. It's very hard to go to your left and to your right. I pray I brought that home. I pray that analogy was was brought full circle for the elect. Continue on. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 10. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive his inheritance? This is how we're receiving our inheritance. This is how the truth is prevailing. And Lord's will, I'll prove that later along in the lesson. Verse 10, and I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so is also Israel's portion, right? Because for their sakes I made the world. When Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were made the entrances of this world narrow. Salakia. Then were the entrances of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful, right? The entrances of this world. For the entrances of the elder world were wide and short and brought immortal fruit. It wasn't like this world. The world is at a degenerate, satanical state, man, through the wicked devices of the man. Through the wicked, because the world was given into the hands of the wicked. Continuing on. Verse 14. If then they that live labor not to enter these straits and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. So this is how the truth is prevailing, man. This is how the truth is prevailing. Because we got majority of the world falling by the wayside, and we got that remnant, that tabernacle with David, continuing by faith and not by sight to that inheritance, staying alive to get to that inheritance. Lord's word brought that home, because he gave y'all he gave us clear-cut instructions on how to get there, man. Clear-cut instruction on how to get there. So it's gonna be complete indignation when he brings that hammer, when he brings that plague, when the wicked works of the evil are fulfilled. Continuing on, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 21. For the Most High have given straight commandments to such as came what they should do to live, right? Because let's get this. This is the book of Baruch. This is how you live. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High and the law that endureth forever, right? So these laws, statutes, and commandments was never done away with. We're just under grace. We're just here doing these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities, putting on as the elect, rehearsing the righteous acts, and Lord willing, being delivered by our faith and by our works and by our righteousness. Because that's how you're going to be delivered. That's probably what I'm going to end up going into today, instead of what I was initially going to go into. And the law that endureth for forever. All they that keep it shall come to life. Simple. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave you clear-cut instructions. But such as leave it shall die. And these are speaking of the law, statutes, and commandments that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave the nation of Israel. Simple. Simple. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 21. For the Most High have given straight commandments to such as came what they should do to live. These are the commandments. Even as they came and what they should observe to avoid punishment. That's why they say, this is the book, I think this is Baruch also. This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 4. O Israel, O Yasha Allah. Not everybody, Yasha Allah. Happy are we for things that are pleasing to the Most High are made known unto us. Simple. These things pleasing to the Most High are these laws, statutes, and commandments. This is how you consider it. Let's get that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him, an honorable plant. This is how you're considered an honorable plant. If you have to love the Heavenly Father. And they that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable, so are they that fear the Lord Yahweh in his eyes. And how do you fear the Lord? Let's get this. This is the book of St. John, chapter 14. What we want to get. I'm going to show you the fear first. This is the fear of the Lord. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse 2. That thou mightest fear the Lord Yahweh, thy power, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son's son, showing you that this was a heritage to be passed down from generation to generation. All the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Showing you that this is how you fear the Heavenly Father, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. This is the law of life, pursuing the Baruch 4, verse 1. How do you love the Heavenly Father? How do you love Yahweh Bashem Yahushua? This is the book of St. John, chapter 14, verse 23. Yahweh answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words. Simple. And my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. I'm going to get another one. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8. There's people drive not unto me with their mouth and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Heart, love. But their heart, mind, love. Your heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. So that's how you show your love of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. This is the book of 2nd John, chapter 1, verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments, right? This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, you shall walk in it. So the law wasn't done away with. These are the same commandments that we heard from the beginning. Simple, man. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua gave you straightway answers, man. But majority of our people will refute, will forbear. This was supposed to be about the truth, but I mean, shit, this is the truth, but shit, man's goals of Yahweh. How then can a man understand his own way? Back to the clear-cut instructions. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 21. For the Most High have given straight commandments to such as came, what they should do to live, even as they came, what they should do to avoid, what they should observe to avoid punishment. Simple. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him. To this day, we've done worse than our fathers. Let's get that. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 11. Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, saith the Lord Yahweh, and have walked after other powers, other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law, and ye have done worse than your fathers. For behold, ye walk everyone after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. We did worse than our fathers, man. We did worse than our fathers. This is the book. Wait, let me. So yeah, back to these clear-cut instructions, man. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 22. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, right? Forsaking their own selves, man. And said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. Jake. But his laws have they despised and denied his covenants. And what happens? This is the book. What happens if you despise these words? You're going to pay. You're going to suffer a grievous death. You're going to die the death of the uncircumcised if you're of the nation of Israel, despising this word, man. And like I often say, you don't have to walk by and scoff in your mind or out your mouth. If you live in contrary to these laws, statutes, and commandments set before you by your power, you're despising his word. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 2. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them. Plain as day. Plain as day, you're going to perish, man. You're going to perish. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Plain as day, man. The parallel of the saved, of the remnant, and the multitude born in vain. Simple. This is back to these clear-cut instructions. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 23. And deceive themselves by their wickedness. Salakia. The leaves smacked me in the face. And deceive themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways. But his law have they despised, and denied his covenants, and his statutes have they not been faithful. Not been faithful at all. And have not performed his works. Falling off, man. Falling back into the world. Getting right for a little bit, then falling back. Doing shit when you want to. Israel's good for that. Y'all been good for that. It's it. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 4. O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? So it's all you niggas, man. Northern and Southern Kingdom. For your goodness is as a morning cloud, and as the early dew it goeth away. A morning cloud. That motherfucker you might see at 9 a.m. and then the sun come out at evaporate that motherfucker. As an early dew, the dew you see on the, you know how at first when you go outside, it's like it's a little condensation on the ground, precipitation, something condensation. We heard that in science class. That stuff doesn't even make it to the noonday, man. That stuff doesn't even make it to 12 p.m. And that's Jake in a nutshell. Wanting to get right for a certain amount of time, especially when Yahweh Bashim Yahushua chastises us. Cause that's how Jake is, man. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 19. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing and bitter that thou hast forsaken the Lord Yahweh thy power, and that my fear is not in thee, saith the Lord Yahweh. Right? Going off, falling, being fearless of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So then he'll afflict you. He'll afflict you, right? This is the book of Job chapter 36 verse 15. He delivereth the poor in his affliction and openeth their ears. Openeth their ears in oppression. This is how Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has to get you niggas' attention. Cause y'all, and even when he does that, y'all goodness fades, man. Y'all goodness fades. He tried punishing you, man. He tried punishing us, man. This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 3. O Lord Yahweh, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has tried punishing us, man. He said, this is the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 6. I have cut off the nations, their towers are desolate. I made their streets waste and none passeth by. Their cities are destroyed so that there is no man, that there is none inhabited. I said, surely thou wilt fear me, thou wilt receive instruction, so their dwelling shall not be cut off. So that don't have to happen to you, right? Howsoever I punished them, but they rose early and corrupted all their doings, man. Israel, goodness fades. Goodness fades. Back to that. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 4. O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? For your goodness is as a morning cloud, and as the early dew it goeth away. Therefore I have hewed them by the prophets, I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. Showing you that y'all only get right for a certain amount of time. They're here seeing his servants to testify against y'all, and some of us will come out of that. Some of us will come out of that temporarily. Some of us will really come out of that to be bid to the marriage. But for the most part, we don't come forth, man. We don't come back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We forsake him. And that's gonna be majority of our people's demise. That's gonna be majority of our people's demise, because only your righteousness is gonna deliver you. And he's only taking the righteous. He's only taking the ones sighing and crying for the abominations done in the midst of wrath. He's only taking the ones walking that straight gate through that furnace of adversity, through that furnace of affliction, staying alive to receive their inheritance. He's not taking the dead. He's not taking the unprofitable. Let me get this. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 14 verse 13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then when I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Right? And that's happening. That's happening again. That's happening again. That's happening now. And all you people that don't have that hedge of protection, y'all gonna starve. Y'all, let's get that first. Let's get that first. This is the book of Isaiah 65. This This is the book of Isaiah chapter 65 verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for the troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. That don't have that hedge of protection, right? Because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Going to the famine part, because y'all are going to starve here, man. Y'all are going to starve, and y'all going to be consumed by famine, pestilence, and the sword. Verse 13, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And how do they secure that favor? How do they obtain that mercy, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 18, verse 14. He that have mercy on them, Salaki, he have mercy on them that receive discipline, and that diligently seek after his judgments. So anybody living contrary to that is going to be cut off. Anybody living contrary to that is going to be cut off. Because it said that, It said that this is the book of 2nd Esdras, because it said he that receives diligence, diligence, yeah, but he that receives discipline will attain that mercy, right? This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 44. Intemperance is at an end. What is intemperance? I'm going to show y'all that. Because discipline and temperance is polar opposites. Intemperance. This is the book of, this is the dictionary. Intemperance, definition, lack of moderation, right? Is usually using, especially habitual or excessive drinking of intoxicants. In this case, we can say that Babylon juice. You know, being fleshly, being carnal, being bound by your flesh, being subject to your flesh and your carnal needs and wants. You're not gonna obtain that mercy. You're gonna be cut off. You're gonna be cut off. He said he has mercy on those that receive discipline, that aren't bound by their flesh and by their wants, that receive discipline and are bound by wisdom, that are prisoners of wisdom, that are prisoners of hope, that are prisoners of these laws, statutes, and commandments, that are prisoners of Hamashiach. Those are going to be the people that receive discipline. Anyone or anything contrary to that is going to be cut off. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 44. Intemperance is at an end. It's at a fucking end, bro. He's done with you brute beast state ass niggas, man, in this brute beast state ass world. Intemperance is at an end. Infidelity is cut off. That's more just fleshly, man. That's more just fleshly carnal shit. Spiritual infidelity or physical infidelity. You can't control yourself and keep your shit in your pants if that man has a woman. You gotta fucking go. You can't keep your heart and keep your integrity and keep your integrity with all you got, man. It said let's get that. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Showing you, man, if you keeping your heart is being bound by these laws, statutes, and commandments. So that infidelity is going to get cut off, man. It's going to get your ass cut off. That spiritual infidelity or that carnal infidelity. Want to do some shit just because you feel like it. Want to worship yourself. Want to be in this world because it accepts you for the dumb, corruptible ass nigga you are, man. The deceivable seed that we spoke about in the book of I forgot what book it was, but I'll show you the book real quick. In the book of Sirach, chapter 10, verse 19, that deceivable seed, man. So going back to Going back to show you who's getting cut off. This is the book of Second Ezra chapter 7 verse 44. Intemperance is at an end. Infidelity is cut off, right? Righteousness is grown. It's grown. Because what he said that the pathway of the just shines brighter and brighter to that perfect day. Right? It says that the house of Saul is waxing weaker and weaker, but the house of David is waxing stronger and stronger. It says that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is building up that tabernacle of David and closing up the breaches thereof, man. It said righteousness is growing, man. Righteousness is growing. And truth is sprung up. And what is that truth? What is that truth? We might as well get into it. We might as well get into a little bit of it because it brought me all the way back. It said the truth is sprung up. This full circle, man. This might be a 40-minute intro. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because it said that truth is sprung up. And what is that truth? What is that truth? What is that truth? This is the book of St. John chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth, right? So who is them and what is that word? Because it said we're trying to figure out who is the truth. What is the truth? And it said that word is the truth. This is the book of St. John chapter 1 verse 14. And the word was made flesh. Who is that word made flesh? Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. And dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is the truth, man. Full of grace and of truth. So we found out who that truth is. So it says, sanctify them through thy truth. And who is that them? This is the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 29. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son. So to be conformed to the truth. Predestinated to be conformed to the truth. That's that remnant he's talking about, man. That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Talking about that remnant, man. Talking about that tabernacle of David. Talking about New Jerusalem, man. That's what's grown. That's what's grown. And that's what sprung up. That tabernacle of David, piece by piece, brick by brick. And we continue to do that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We continue to do that by giving our diligence to make our call and election sure. We remain a part of that by giving our diligence to make our call and election sure. You don't do that, you on the other side. You with me, you against me, man. This shit is not rocket science, you hear me? So that is the truth, man. That tabernacle with David is the truth. Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is the truth, man. That's the truth, man. And that shows, that shows that the mercy that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has bestowed upon the nation of Israel, for one, sending Yahweh Shah, and for two, having the lie and power. Having that lie, having the biggest lie known to the face of the earth in power, man. Let's get that. First we gotta we gotta warm it up. We gotta give you that context. We got to give you that context. It's the book of 1 Ezra, chapter 4, verse 37. Wine is wicked, right? The king is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of the men are wicked, and such as all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. Showing you that the wicked are going to perish. Showing you that the wicked are going to perish, and the wicked are in rulership right now, man. And we're living in a time of that transition. How blessed are we, bro? Continuing on. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, because it said the wicked shall perish in their unrighteousness. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? Who is he? Who's the face of whoredom? Who's the face of not the face. Who's the biggest whore? Who's the biggest arms trafficker? Who's the biggest drug dealer? Who's the biggest fornicator? Who's the biggest prognosticator? Who's the biggest? Who's big wicked, man? Who is big wicked, man? Esau Edom, man. Starting from the get-go, starting with that iconoclasm shit, man. The biggest wicked, man. The biggest, most wicked. You hear me? I'm talking in circles about their asses, man. I'm gonna get that though. This is the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 48. And lay open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likenesses of their images. They try to deface our books, man. They try to deface our records, man. Our records, man, and put their faces over it, man. And that's why you see this ugly ass, dog, string hair ass nigga, Caesar Borgia, depicted as Yahweh Shai. Not even depicted as Yahweh Shai, depicted as Jesus Christ, man. To this day. Defacing all our ancient artifacts. Painting them white. Painting them pink. You hear me? Because they ain't white. Defacing the noses and defacing all the ancient artifacts on these great statues and monuments, man. Moving landstones, moving landmarks, you know? Covering the faces of the judges thereof, man. This is Esau Edom, man. This is Esau Edom. And they can't help it, man. They can't fucking help it. This is the book of Psalms chapter 58 verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. They can't fucking help that shit, man. This is who they are, man. They couldn't stop it if they tried. They couldn't stop it if they tried. And this is the book of Jeremiah chapter 13 verse 23. Can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spot? Then may he also do good that are accustomed to evil? No, man. He couldn't fucking help that shit, man. He couldn't help that shit. So it's showing you the people that are empowered today, right? I just showed you that the wicked are empowered today. And it said, I'm going to read 1 Esdras 4 and 37 again. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such as all their wicked works, right? And there is no truth in them. The biggest lie known to man is in powership, in rulership today, man. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. And this is mercy, man. This is mercy. That Yahweh Bashem Yahushua made Esau to be the wicked, man. And made them to be the end of the world, man. And made us to be the beginning of it that follow. Y'all don't see the mercy that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has always had on Yahusha Allah, man? And it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. They haven't even reached even close to the fullness of their sufficiency right now. They're just cramming all you dumb niggas to sleep. They're just giving y'all, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is just allowing Esau to give y'all that spirit of slumber, man. Rocking you stupid niggas to sleep. Priming you niggas up to come begging them for normalcy soon come, man. With this digital off system, though. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. This is coming. This is coming. And this is how you know that the truth is here, man. And this is how you know that the truth is soon to prevail. Is prevailing. But it's gonna be made manifest in front of the eyes of every soul on earth. Soon come. Soon come, because you see them approaching that bound that they can't pass, man. I'm gonna get there. This is the book of Job, chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has made this man to be the wicked and allowed this man to reach a certain point, right? Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. That he's not gonna allow him, he's gonna allow him to do everything justifiable to remove him out of the power seat. He's gonna allow him to be as wicked as he wanna be to remove him out of the power seat. And again, this is mercy. This is the mercy bestowed unto Yahusha Allah, because he's also created a world that's contrary to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And you got majority of our people in the world, and you got that remnant building up and bidding more of the remnant to the marriage to reach that number, and you got that remnant living contrary to this world. You got that remnant arising and departing, knowing that this isn't a rest. You got that remnant arising and departing and laboring for that continuing city, laboring to enter into that rest, man. Why? And this is all beautiful. This is all mercy, man. And Esau, Edom is something that can't remain. They can't remain. It said in the unrighteousness they're gonna perish, because they're not gonna change. They're gonna try everything. They're gonna try everything to they're gonna try everything to accomplish their enterprise. Naturally, they're gonna try. They're the wicked. They're gonna try everything to accomplish their enterprise. They're not gonna consider for a second, maybe I should stop. They on full throttle. They on full throttle. They feel like everything is going according to plan right now. This is the book of Psalms chapter 10, verse 4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So, but yeah, he's gonna try everything. He's gonna try everything on the left-hand side, especially within his power to achieve his enterprise, man. He gonna live and die with that left-hand energy. He gonna live and die with that sword. He gonna live and die with that blessing, man. And he's gonna perish in that shit, man. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Naturally, man, he stuck to his guns. As you dumb niggas should stick to your guns, which is your blessing. All spiritual blessings given to you by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. And it said at the end, knowledge shall be increased. It said that the son of perdition shall be revealed. If it wasn't so, none of this will come to pass. Because it said, none of these things shall come to pass. And it said, none of these things shall come to pass unless the son of perdition be revealed. Roughly paraphrasing. So it said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. You're not going to be able to escape the judgments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. He said, none can escape out of my hands. He also said it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Continuing on. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand out, you're not going to know, because you think that you're accomplishing your enterprise step by step. You think you labored decades to achieve your enterprise, and it's all going according to your mind and your thoughts and your goals. Whole time you're achieving you're gonna be caught in your own devices and destroy yourself on self-destruct mode in order for Jake to just slide right in there, man. It's mercy. It's beautiful, man, to be living in these times. All we gotta do is stay alive. The whole Bashim Yahushua is giving you these lessons. He's giving you this faith. He's giving you this strength. He's giving you this hedge of protection. He's giving you the victory, man, when he gave you your Yahushua. So all you gotta do is stay alive, man. That's all you gotta do, and you stay alive through these laws, statutes, and commandments. You stay stable through wisdom and knowledge, Isaiah 33:6. You're gonna keep a perfect mind if you stayed on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Continue on. Isaiah 47, verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, right? Stay with that shit. And with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. From thy youth, since Babylon was a little hoe. Since she was the little hoe, you've been laboring for these things. Now you the big hoe. Now you the great hoe. You hear me? Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art weary in a multitude of thy counsels. They weary, man. They got to do more and more. On that left-hand side, you got to do more and more to get more and more. You got to accuse yourself more and more to accuse us, to get the victory, to even have a chance at the victory on us, to even get your plans for your victory against us, man. You got to do worse and worse, man. You got to stand even more with your enchantments. So you got to weary yourself in your sorceries, man. Isaiah 47 verse 13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from the things that shall come upon thee, right? Behold, they shall be as stubble. They're going to perish in their own unrighteousness, man. They shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored. Even thy merchants from thy youth, they shall wander everyone in his quarter. They gonna leave your ass, man. Shit, pursuing a prophecy, your own allies is gonna bomb you, man. But you don't give a fuck, but you just gonna continue, and I hope you do. I hope you hurry it up, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie. Even thy merchants from thy youth, they shall wander everyone to his quarter. None shall save them, man. So you deceiving yourself, man. You deceive, and what did it say? This is the book, I'm honestly off the phone today, man. I got the sword, but I've been off my phone today. This is the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. The deceived and the deceiver are his. So you think you getting one over on the Most High's anointed, man? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is getting one on off of you, over you and over all your helpers, man. Anything you said before us, man, is just gonna fall right under you, because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah is into that, man. He loves us, man. And he gonna make you look stupid to show his power, man. He said what? Even for this perfect have I raised Pharaoh up to show my power, man. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives, man. So are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, because they're trying to play God right now. They want 500 million. They want to go from 8 billion to 500 million and have majority of the motherfuckers be slaves. Greedy of gain, trying to play God, trying to prolong your enterprise, trying to cut us off from being a nation, trying to accuse us, trying to take your birthright back. Greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. So again, man, that lie, them lies, the wicked, they cannot remain, man. They cannot remain. It's impossible. They can't remain. I'm going to read that first Esdras again. This is the book of First Esdras, chapter 4, verse 38. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. And again, we told y'all what the truth is, man. We told y'all what the truth and who the truth is. We told y'all who the truth is and who the truth is and who it's for. And I'm gonna show you that truth is gonna prevail. I'm gonna show you that truth is gonna prevail. This is the book of First Esdras, chapter 4, verse 39. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards, right? That truth. But she doeth the things that are just and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works, right? That truth. That law approved of all, right? Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness. And she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the power of truth, man. Blessed be the God of truth. And you know who the God of truth is, right? Don't play that. You know who the God of truth is, right? We worship the God of truth. You know you know not what you worship. We know we worship. For salvation is of the Jews. The God of the truth is of the Jews. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 4. He is the rock. His work is perfect. For all his ways are judgment. A God of truth. And without iniquity. Just and right is he. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That is the God of truth, man. That's the God of truth. Back to First Esdras, chapter 4, verse 41. 144. And with that he held his peace, and the people then shouted and said, great is the truth. Great is truth and mighty above all things, man. Great is the truth and mighty above all things, man. Think about that, man. Only the truth is great and mighty above all things. Think about that. Anybody that went against the grain, anybody that went against the beast, perished. Anybody that went against the beast perished, man, except for men of the Lord. Except for men of the Lord. We out here in great boldness, man. Chest out like this, man. Telling Esau, Edom that we coming for him. But anybody else even speaking an inkling of the truth, it's over with for him. We'll get that. This is the book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast, that would not bow that image to the knee of Baal, should be killed, right? So that's the power of the beast, man. They playing anything, they laying anything down, man, that won't get down, man. You hear me? But with us, it is not so. With us, it is not so. This is the book of Acts chapter 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men and let them alone. For if this counsel or work be of men, it will come to naught, right? It'll come to naught. We'll get killed. We'll break up. What? We didn't try everything, man. We didn't try everything. If it was just that, if this wasn't a power ordained by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we would have been out of here, man. Israel has tried everything, man. Let me get that. This is the book of Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he's seeking for? They have tried everything, man. Civil rights, Black Panther, Kemet, vegan, Black Lives Matter, feminism. Israel done tried everything, done got with everything but Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Every movement that we spearheaded that wasn't of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua came to naught. We got dispersed. We got dispersed by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Because it said, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power that was ordained by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, resisteth the ordinance of the Heavenly Father. It was ordained by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He set this in order. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. Right, so all these movements that we didn't spearhead it, then came to naught. Pan-Africanism, Marcus Garvey killed himself, man, off of a heavy heart. He was sorrowful. They turned his whole congregation against him. Any type of legacy that a Jake have, they assassinate that shit, man. They'll call you a rapist or they assassinate that shit, man. Black Panthers, they blick Huey P. Newton down in this house right next to his pregnant wife, man. Because it was done of men. And he was what, 20 years old? It was done of men. Martin Luther King, that shit was a setup. That was a setup, but he got killed, so to speak. It was done of men. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua killed that nigga, man. It will all come to naught if it's done of men. Esau Edom is on that ass if it's possible, man. Esau Edom is on that ass if it's possible. You hear me? Well, what does it say about if it's done of the Most High? So the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 38. Verse 39. But if it be of the Most High, this movement, the ascension of the tabernacle of David, but if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it. You can't overthrow it. Lest happily you be found even to fight against the Most High. You'll be found stupid, man. You beating a fucking, you beating your own ass, man. He said, those that hate me love death. And that's all Esau Edom is, man. That's all Esau Edom promotes. A death culture, a nigga culture, a Satanist culture, a sodomite culture, anything contrary to life. But us going against it, and he kills anybody that goes against that, man. But us being a part of a movement ordained by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, we're safe, man. We're sound. We're of a perfect mind. Even at our lowest state, being abased, being oppressed, being a vessel of displeasure. We're safe, man. Well, let's get this to the book of Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of the Lord Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So we're safe, man, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Completely safe, man. Completely safe. I'm gonna get this. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 22. 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcame, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared, man. And what's that truth, man? What's that truth? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as have escaped out of the house of Yahweh shall no more... Oh, shit. Lady scared the fuck out of me. Shall no more again say upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth, man. That's the, bro, that's the truth, man. That we are Yahshua Allah. We're the prince of the power, man. We're the prince of the power. This is the book of Ezekiel, and then that land is ours, and we're soon to get it back, man. And we're soon to rule forever under Yahweh Shah, and an everlasting rulership, and that kingdom won't be left to strangers, you hear me? This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 28. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh, do sanctify Yahshua Allah, man, Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. This is the truth, man. This is the truth. This is that truth, man. I'm going to get this and end it off here, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, right? This second Exodus is gonna eclipse the glory of the first, man. Jeremiah 16, verse 15. But the Lord Yahweh that liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers, man. And that's the truth. That's what's gonna remain. That's what's growing. That's what's flourishing. That's what's gonna overcome. That's what's gonna prevail. That's what's mighty above all. That truth. And we are living in a time, we are blessed and honored or condemned to be living in a time of that transition, of the truth being made manifest. Because what it say, some are gonna arise to everlasting shame and contempt, and some are gonna arise to what? Everlasting life. And the tabernacle of David that's already preordained to be conformed to the image of the Son, to be conformed to that word made flesh. They gonna prevail, man. They gonna prevail because it's done of the Most High. It was written. So with that being said, I pray this lesson was edifying. I pray I brought it all the way home for the elect of the nation of Israel, man. I'm gonna turn to the east and give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Hey, man, we close. Shalom, man. Barak to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah.